number of political parties are embarking on a planned shutdown against taxi impoundments in the Western Cape for tomorrow. Now, these parties have also mentioned that SANTACO won't be part of this initiative. For the Taxi Association's view on this, let's bring in Mandla Hermanus, who's part of the leadership team for SANTACO in the Western Cape. In fact, he joins us now via our video link. Mandla, it's great to have you on the program. Thanks very much indeed for making time. I mean, just as I was preparing to speak to you, SANTACO released a statement saying that they're also pulling out of this planned shutdown. Tell us why SANTACO decided not to be a part of it.
Okay, I think what we need to make clear is that as SANTACO in the province, we support, first of all assistance that we can get from whether it's civil society or various political parties who would like to champion our cause, which is where we are saying the current impoundment regime is unfair and unjust to the minibus taxi operators. So our stand as far as Monday is concerned is that we support the effort to highlight our grievances, but at the same time, we are not going to be part of shutting down the province. What that means is that we are not going to withhold our services on Monday. Taxi operations will continue as normal. However, having said that, some of our operators will be part of the march because our operators, they come from these political parties. We've got various political party affiliations within SANTACO because SANTACO is a broad church which is brought together by providing a minibus taxi service. We are not a political organization. So our members are free to affiliate to different political parties. And as such, they will be participating in a peaceful march, but our operations will continue as normal on Monday.
So let me get this right. It's a march around the plight of taxi drivers in the industry without the endorsement of the largest taxi association, I understand, in the Western Cape, that being SANTACO. I mean, what do you think is going on here?
What is happening is that for a very long time, we've been fighting a long battle. And what I suspect is happening is that now many political parties are beginning to understand what we have always been crying about, and they've been willing to want to assist us. But at the moment, we've got a task team that is continuing where we are negotiating with government about these very issues. And we are embarking on a program to review the conditions that are attached to our operating licenses. It's those conditions that give rise to these impoundments. So as we undertake that process, then it does not make sense for us, whilst we are busy with that process, to also withhold services because there is a march. As much as we support the march itself, but we do not support the idea that we must then withhold services on that day. So there will be no stay away. But our members, as they affiliate to these political parties, will be part of a peaceful march from Vengate to Ndabeni, where the pound is.
Yeah. It's going to be a march that, as you mentioned, involves some of your members, but doesn't have the endorsement of SANTACO, and I think that's pretty clear now. How concerned are you, though, that your own messaging around this issue, around even the agreement, may be overtaken by people, quite frankly, who aren't privy to the conversations that you are having with the Western Cape government? I mean, for instance, as part of the comments that have been made during this media briefing this afternoon, they're making all kinds of allegations against the Western Cape government, the kind of comments that I think would put into jeopardy this already fragile deal that you have with the provincial government.
Look, I don't think any comments made by political parties would jeopardize the deal because none of the political parties are part of the task team. But we have continued briefing political parties so they know where we stand. They know what progress is being made at the task team, whether they feel the progress is, or whether they feel that maybe the city is taking us for a ride, then that's for them to assume that. But we are participating in the task team, and we believe that all parties to the task team are genuine and are looking forward to finding a permanent resolution to the crisis that we have been in.
Yeah. What's your take of how the deal so far has been adhered to. From your vantage point, is the Western Cape government keeping their part of the deal?
Yes, because we have seen, even though there are instances where our vehicles are still impounded outside of what we have agreed on, those instances seem to be far and few in between. So in the main, there is agreement and adherence to what we have agreed on. What we have agreed on was that the impoundments that we don't necessarily have a problem with is impoundments that are in terms of the NLTA. Those include a vehicle that does not have an operating license, a vehicle that is not roadworthy, and a driver who does not have a PDP or a valid driver's license. So those impoundments are happening, and we don't have any challenge with those. In fact, the roadworthiness should not be an impoundable offense in terms of the NLTA, but because we believe we run a business and we should look at the interest of the people that we transport, we felt that that should be included as well, to say our vehicles on the roads should be roadworthy.
See the grin on your face. I mean, this looks like it's falling apart before it even starts. The ANC now also pulling out.
Yeah, I think the challenge there is that when the application was done, the application was for a march. And there's a big difference between a march and a shutdown. And the march is supposed to be a peaceful march. It's got a route that is going to take. It's got times that it begins at this time and from this point to that point, and a memorandum is handed over, whether it's a memorandum of demands or whatever they call it. So once the permission was granted, then the language changed. Now it became a shutdown. And we have been very clear that we cannot be part of a shutdown in terms of us withdrawing our services on the day, because then that would go against the spirit with which we are participating in the task team. So because there is no point in us going to the streets and withdrawing our services when the very issues are actually on the table and being addressed, which is what we wanted in the first place.
Sure. Well, then, given the doublespeak and the ambiguity around the language at the very least, is this still an initiative that SANTACO in the Western Cape supports?
Look, as SANTACO in the province, a peaceful march to raise or to bring to the fore the challenges that we have, it's something that we will always support. But what we are not going to participate in is a shutdown where we withdraw our services and disadvantage our communities when there is a platform where these issues are being addressed. But having that platform does not mean then we cannot continue to agitate for the change in the impoundment regime. But we do not believe embarking on a stay away or a shutdown now is an appropriate action for us.
All right. SANTACO supporting a peaceful march tomorrow, but not necessarily a shutdown. All right. I think hopefully that gives, at the very least, commuters a bit more clarity around how tomorrow is likely to unfold.